Hello, this is Ian, CEO at We Offer Wellness, and we're here today for another We Offer Wellness provider chat with Heather. So, hello, Heather.
Hello, Ian. Thanks for having me today.
You're most welcome, and thanks for being part of the whole We Offer Wellness thing. And we were just saying off camera, we've over 300 providers now. I don't know the exact number, but I know it's well over 300. So it's building nicely, nice community that's sort of grown amongst us with people like yourself. So let's talk about you, okay? Let's talk about you. Whereabouts are you located?
So I am based in a village called Thatcham, which is right next to Newbury. So some of you might have heard more of Newbury. It's in West Berkshire, where the racecourse is. And yeah, that's where I am.
That's sort of Berkshire way, isn't it? Going around that area, sort of Reading, that
Yes,
kind
West
of.
West Berkshire, Newbury, and then the next town along the A4 trunk road is Hungerford. So yeah, which is kind of
Okay.
like right on the edge of Berkshire.
Second, a bit of a hint or an accent there. Is that from that part of the world? Are you born and bred there?
No, my accent actually is twinged with a little Bristol in it, but that's only because my mum used to live in Keynsham, and so I've picked up a twang from my mum.
It was because I was going to say Somerset actually, because it didn't sound as Reading as I remember being in Reading town centre. Anyway, so you're that part of the world, the west part of England, yeah?
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, wonderful. So before we get into the experiences and the sort of things that you do, where does all this start with you? Where does this holistic wellness, spiritual journey start with you?
So my journey actually, like many other therapists, started with my own kind of like battle with issues. So as a youngster, I would have lots of anxiety, bouts of depression, etc. My journey into what I offer is basically a remedy for what I've personally been through. So when you say to people, I understand what you're going through, I actually do. I get it. I get the anxiety. I get the depression because I've been there. So it was a journey that was started because my sister also is into therapy. So she actually trained as a massage therapist to start with, and then went into Reiki. So that was my first encounter with the therapy, was having Reiki sessions, and I really thoroughly enjoyed it. And then started to explore other therapies. And for me, always being into sound and music from a very, very early age, the sound healing just seemed to hit the spot with me. Um, yeah, it was a magical experience that I suddenly a light bulb went off in my head, and I was like, I have to find out more about what this is, how it works, what does it do for you?
Wonderful. So let's talk about that. So how are you doing your sound healing, sound therapy, self-exploratory type work? How are you going about it?
So, sound healing is it's a modality which is a vibrational kind of therapy. So we all vibrate at various different frequencies. And what I do literally is to retune your body if it's out of balance. So imagine your body is like a piano. I come in and I retune parts of the body with different tonal frequencies. So I trained with the College of Sound Healing, and Simon Heather, the founder, teaches a method that you can do with your voice. So you can use kind of like singing bowls, and I often use my drum in the therapies as well. But it's a way of retuning the body in back into wellness. So your cells internally will be given its optimal frequency. So you can imagine if you've got a tuning fork here of say 440 hertz per second, if you put another tuning fork here and you ping that one, this one will automatically start to resonate even though you haven't touched it. So it's that ability to be able to give that part of the body its optimal frequency. So that's kind of what I do. Sounds a bit sciencey, but basically it works on the premise that Your body is so if you're working from the head and then you go down to the feet, feet are low notes, working up the body, head is high notes. And you can also work with different vowel sounds to create a different type of quality to the sound. That's also quite an important element in what we do.
No, Heather, I love the natural science of it all because that's where the facts are, isn't it? In nature, and it's how nature works and call and response, and why we get sayings like, money goes to money or gold goes to gold. These are all examples of the tuning fork principle in at play. Um, Wonderful. So, are you using tuning forks yourself then? So, if somebody comes to a session with you, you said a drum. What other instruments and tools are you using?
So I work, yes, I do use tuning forks. They are really amazing tools. Um, you can dowse around the body. You can check someone's auric field with a tuning fork. Um, Primarily, you can also balance the left and right side of the brain using a C and a G tuning fork, which is a beautiful thing to do. Rattles I use a lot because they help to remove stagnant energy within the body. So anywhere that you've got like a joint, like an elbow or a knee joint, places where energy can get stuck, hips, rattles are a brilliant, brilliant tool for that. And also you can use singing bowls. You can put those directly on the body. Um, Chimes work beautifully for like ending the session to bring people into a state of calmness. Um, that's really what the sound healing is all about, to bring people back into balance and to actually induce a state of inner calm and peace. And so that's the sound healing. But the shamanic treatments go a little bit deeper, um, and can help with root cause problems.
It's fascinating, isn't it? Okay. Are you working only in-person sessions, or are you able to do some of your work virtually online? What can you do?
So I tend not to do online sessions because I'm not particularly good with with jostling the tech and actually getting into it. What I do for people is distant healing sessions if they can't get to me physically. So that would involve like a quick chat with the person so that I can kind of like tune into their energy, and then I will basically imagine the person lying in front of me, and then they will go off and they will do the same. They lie down, they find themselves a nice quiet space and actually receive at the same time that I'm giving the energy. But they could be in Australia and I could be here, and it still works the same. And there's a lot to be said for distant healing being very, very powerful and working just as well as an in-person session.
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely. The technology of transference of force and energy, is not restricted by brick walls, is it? Or some sort of red tape. It's a very different thing, isn't it? So look, wonderful. All right. So people can come and find you then into the Wheel for Wellness. If they were to go into the search bar on the Wheel for Wellness homepage, what would be some of the key words that would help a person find you, connect with you?
So key tag words for me are sound healing, shamanic practitioner, soul retrieval is also something that I do. And I also offer something which is called assemblage point alignment, which helps balance your auric field and helps with things like ME and fibromyalgia, people who suffer from those types of silent conditions.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Look, wonderful. Absolutely. Isn't this great that this sort of stuff is in the world? Always has been, and let's hope it always will be. Look, people, please do come and find Heather, search those words. And if you're in that area location, which is quite a big area as well, you should be able to sort of make a connection. And as you know, when we're doing these chats, we're now introducing another sort of element now, and it's asking for a wellness tip. So, do you have something for us, Heather? Something that you can communicate nice and simply for the listener?
Okay, so a really nice wellness tip is to tone on a simple note and using the Sanskrit word om. So we've all heard of yoga classes where they chant om at the end of the session. This is something you can do really, really simply at home. What we start with though is the breath. So just to relax our bodies and get the body ready for making sound. So you take a nice couple of deep breaths in and just release any tension. And again, nice deep breath in. And then you're going to pick any note that you like to do om with. So a nice deep breath in. So that's just an example. On Zoom, you might find that the oms actually cut out. Unfortunately, it's the quirk of how Zoom works. But if you go with it and you don't allow your monkey mind to criticize the way that you're sounding your om, actually doing that for 3 to 5 minutes will help to re-oxygenize your body because you're taking a deep breath before each om. It helps to recenter the mind because you're toning the word om, and om is the universal word of peace and oneness. So that's my top tip. Om for 3 to 5 minutes, and you'll be happy days.
Hey, Heather, this is wonderful, and I love the practical. Excellent. Look, thank you ever so much for doing this today. Thanks for being part of what we're trying to do and what we are building with people just like yourself. Let's get more into the world. So, people, please do come and find Heather and come and have an experience, which I think will be quite amazing. So, thanks ever so much.
Thank you, Ian. Thanks ever so much.